There are literally too many to choose from. Oh well, we're doing it anyway. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 best moments from the end of the world.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be breaking down the darkest, funniest, and most touching moments from the end of the world's first season.
Hey.
I've seen you skating. You're pretty shit.
Number 10, Alyssa comes back. After James kills a serial rapist, more on that in a minute, he and Alyssa go to a restaurant to try and decide what to do next. Alyssa is still in shock from the previous night's events and ends up ditching James. The two spend the following episode questioning themselves and their decisions up to that point, with the common thread being that they need each other.
He saved me and I left him. I'm never gonna see him again, and it's my fault.
Faced with the fact that she left him after he literally saved her life, Alyssa returns to the restaurant and finds James sitting in the exact same spot. It's one of the show's more touching moments, and proved that despite her tough exterior, Alyssa truly loves James.
I won't leave you again.
Okay.
Number 9, Alyssa gets caught shoplifting. After getting her period, Alyssa finds herself in need of a fresh pair of underwear. She tries stealing some, but winds up getting busted by security.
What have you got in there?
Alyssa ends up in a back room with a security guard, but when he gets called away to help a man look for his lost child, she uses the opportunity to get out of there. However, during her escape, she comes across the missing girl and decides to bring her back. Realizing Alyssa isn't such a bad kid, the security guard lets her go, but warns her to stop stealing.
Go on, get out of here.
Really?
So, of course, on her way out, she snags a bra too. Number 8, Alyssa stands up to her dad.
You wanna know what's wrong with me, yeah? You don't care about me.
There's a reason people say that we should never meet our heroes. Enter Exhibit A, Alyssa's deadbeat father. At first, things appear to be going well between Alyssa and her estranged father, but despite his best attempts to convince her he loves her, it quickly becomes clear that the only person he loves is himself. When his ex-girlfriend confronts him over child support payments, he splits, leaving Alyssa again and running over a dog in the process. The pain of being rejected, lied to, and betrayed by her father is simply too much for her to bear, so she lets him have it. The truth hurts.
Of course I give a shit.
You shouldn't just make people if you're gonna abandon them.
Number 7, Alyssa thwarts then extorts a pedophile.
You what?
Give me your wallet.
After crashing their getaway vehicle, James and Alyssa are forced to hitch a ride with a stranger. In the real world, this would probably equate to them getting from A to Z with little to no problems. However, this is the end of the world we're talking about. So obviously, the driver ends up being a pedophile who follows James into the washroom and molests him when the trio makes a stop. Luckily, Alyssa is there to save the day. She puts an end to it and extorts Martin the creep for good measure, threatening to tell his family unless he forks over his wallet.
I'll tell the police too.
Number 6, James punches his dad, then steals his car. A good first episode establishes tone and typically ends with a cliffhanger, a twist, or a bang. The end of the world's first episode takes the latter approach, with James and Alyssa deciding to skip town together. With the duo in need of transportation, James resolves to punch his dad in the face and steal his car.
I didn't know where we were going or when I was going to kill her, but I punched my dad in the face and stole his car. And that felt like a good place to start.
While we were admittedly a little sad to see James's dad Phil get clocked, the poor guy just wanted to eat a little takeout. It was a perfect way to kick off this blunt, violent, and completely hilarious series. Number 5, James saves Alyssa from the rapist. The end of the world is filled with scenes that stick with you long after the credits have rolled, and this one just might be the most affecting. After breaking into the home of author Clive Koch, James discovers evidence that leads him to believe Koch is a serial rapist. Before he has a chance to warn Alyssa, Koch returns home and attempts to rape her. Unbeknownst to him, James is hiding under the bed, leaping into action and stabbing Koch in the neck. He falls to the floor and dies in a pool of his own blood, with James and Alyssa looking on in shock. Talk about turning things up a notch. Number 4, when they danced. After breaking into a random person's home, cracking open a bottle of vodka, and tossing their dirty dishes into the pool, Alyssa decides that a little bit of music is exactly what the doctor ordered. James initially looks at her with amusement, or at least his version of it, before Alyssa convinces him to join in.
As a rule, I didn't dance. But it was hard to say no to Alyssa.
James downs a little liquid courage and finally allows himself to have a little fun. In a show filled with shocking, sometimes gruesome moments, this innocent dance party came as a well-deserved, not to mention hilarious respite. Number 3. The gas station robbery. Out of money and running on empty, James and Alyssa stop at a gas station hoping to fill up and dash. Unfortunately, the owner is wise to their scheme and tries to stop them. Unfortunately for her, she has no idea who she is dealing with, and instead of losing a few quid of stolen gas, she ends up in way over her head. The owner attempts to forcibly restrain Alyssa, but James shows up, pretends to have a gun, and along with Alyssa's help, locks her in a toilet. Besides being totally badass, the scene also features a gas station attendant named Frodo who tries to join our two anti-heroes.
Listen, Frodo, we've got to get back on the road. Okay, yeah, cool. Where are we going?
What? Enough said. Number 2. James and Alyssa's makeover.
We need to change the way we look.
Having just committed murder, albeit the justifiable kind, James and Alyssa decide they need to change their appearances. Cut to the two of them looking like a cross between Pumpkin and Honey Bunny from Pulp Fiction, and Clarence in Alabama from True Romance. While Alyssa's outfit is slightly more effective, a fact James is quick to point out, the scene is less about coming up with a disguise as it is a creative way to show that the characters have evolved.
I think it's fair to say that my disguise wasn't as effective as Alyssa's. I looked pretty much the same.
Their makeover might not fool the police, but it definitely gives them an edge, in every sense of the word. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
We should do the washing up. I changed my mind. I'm sorry, I'm not into this.
Are you kidding?
Nope.
You tell me that she's not here. I'll follow the trail of her tears. That's how
Miss you, darling.
That's how I got to Memphis.
Look at you. Look at you.
Number 1. The final scene. With the police bearing down on our juvenile outlaw lovebirds, Alyssa knocks out Noon, snatches the keys to her father's boat, and she and James make a break for the beach. Unfortunately, when they get there, the tide is out and the boat is grounded. Fueled by his love for Alyssa, James apologizes before punching her in the face with the gun, so as to make it look like she wasn't complicit in their crimes. He then takes off running down the beach. It's a romantic, adrenaline-filled, and ultimately ambiguous final scene. But damn, if it isn't the perfect way to cap off the madness that was season 1 of The End of the World.
I've just turned 18. And I think I understand what people mean to each other.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.